Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Winter, and today we have something very special, something that has been literally years in the making. No, it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with Starcraft 2 and the ladder. There is a major, some might even say a huge ladder revamp coming up, or at least that's what they're entitling it. A lot of updates to the ladder. We're actually going to watch the video. Obviously, I've already watched the video. We're going to pretend like I haven't before. I'm going to go over, break each thing down, and we're also going to... There's another post as well we're going to be looking at a little bit later, and that kind of details some of the things in the video. So, with that, also, you can find this video in the description. I should probably put an annotation or something over it. But make sure to check out this video in its entirety on the Starcraft YouTube channel. So, let's take a look. Alright. It's really loud. Let's turn it down low. This intro is a lot longer and a lot more intense than I expected.
Hello everyone, the Starcraft
and it's David Kim.
Team has been hard at work on ladder revamp. Before we get into the details, we wanted to point out many of the improvements were due to the heavy community collaboration we've been working towards for the past year.
Alright. Just they got that in there. They made everybody feel good. Thank you, David Kim, for making everyone feel like they contributed. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm saying all these things have been a long time coming, and I'm very glad they're finally acting on them. But a lot of these things, I would assume, have been in the works for years, quite literally. So, let's see what the actual details are.
Or so. Thank you so much for continuing to work on the development of StarCraft 2 with us so that we can make big improvements to the game, such as this one. There are many ways to take the direction of a ladder system within a game. For example, you can go for a system that makes everyone progress over time, or you can go for a skill-based system. For StarCraft 2, due to its competitive nature, our main goals were to increase transparency and give a better reflection of player skill. We made a few improvements in order to achieve this goal. Most important is showing the exact player skill at all times. This will be done by clearly displaying the player's MMR.
Okay. Now this is big. This is a big deal. Right here. This is why I have that entire video on matchmaking rating and bonus pool and all of that, which you can check out as well. Of course, actually, I'm going to say thankfully that video is going to be out of date when these changes are finally implemented. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to spoil it. He says very soon at the end of the video is when this is going to happen. So I don't necessarily expect at the beginning of the next season, but possibly the season after that. This season is very short if you're watching this video within like a week of it coming out. The next season begins in another month or so. I would expect maybe a couple months after that, which is very soon, in Blizzard time, right? Very soon. But you see here, matchmaking rating 2500. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Dota. How you just, your MMR, it's right there. That's what it is. And I think this is something that a lot of Blizzard has kind of gone the other direction on this before. They used to have it. They actually went in the direction of no demotions, and that still does exist. There are no demotions currently, except from Grandmaster during the season. But they also, at one point, took away your loss column if you were below Masters. You just couldn't see your losses, which is condescending to say the least, in the exact opposite direction of transparency, and they eventually brought that back because it was dumb. And everybody agreed on it. StarCraft is an incredibly competitive game. You want all the information you can have, and this is what we needed. The matchmaking rating. Nobody's going to have to ask what's your hidden MMR, because, of course, the hidden MMR is kind of your bonus pool, plus your current points, plus kind of who you're matched up against, and it's really hard to figure out the exact number. They're going to give, you got a number right there. There's no more hiding behind anything, which is good. So we're just gonna, they'll give you the number. So for all of you kind of discouraged because you don't know where you stand, or you're not sure like why you're playing a certain level of players, this will tell you why. Let's hope it works as advertised. Now let's see the other details. They get a little bit more into a new league system, actually. Ironically, similar to League, but let's take a look at that.
also added a progress bar that will show exactly how far you are from promotion. We broke up each league into 3 tiers so players know where they stand within the league. Your tier will now show on your current league badge. Each player's MMR will display the exact current skill of the player, whereas the league and tier badge information will display the highest rank achieved in the current season so far. We also wanted to make the Grandmaster League more accurate and meaningful.
This is a big one.
In order to
but
do this,
that's
there will
not. Let's talk about that other part. This is going to affect maybe less than 500 players total per server, and I mean, those are 500 at risk of sounding personally narcissistic, incredibly important players to be catering to, and for other players to look up to. But first off, the league tier system. I'm going to go back a little bit, and you'll get exactly what that looks like, besides David Kim's beautiful face. But here we go. We got the league tier system here. And promotion progress. So not only are they adding your MMR, opponent's MMR, but also you will get promoted. There's no more like, I get the question, the same video with the MMR and the bonus pool and all of that. Completely out of date, completely obsolete. I'll make a new video, and I'm very happy to do so, because now I'm no longer going to get the question, and you're no longer going to have the question of, why aren't I getting promoted? What can I do to get promoted? What do I need to do? Why I'm playing against diamonds and I'm rank 1 gold. Why am I not promoted yet? There is no more question. There's nothing else to ask. It's right there. You can see how many points you gain. You can see the relative skill level of your opponent. And you see when you're going to get promoted. And now they also said they're breaking down the leagues into tiers. I believe they said 3 tiers per league. I'm sure that number is going to be fluid, but I like that as well. You're going to get promoted, and I do hope that you can be demoted as well. I know it sucks being demoted, but I'd rather be demoted than be in a league that I really shouldn't be in right now based on my skill level. So everybody should be happy about this. Everybody. In any league, Grandmaster to Bronze, you at least know exactly what's going on. So this is a big deal for you, and it's a pretty big deal for me as well. Even breaking it down for coaching people or really seeing the level of players and giving them advice. So I want to see your thoughts on this, but I think this is something that is really going to motivate a lot of people to put in that extra 5, 10, 15 games a day, because I am literally 3 games from promotion, or I'm 2 games from promotion, or I'm playing against players of a higher level. So even though I'm losing, I know I'm eventually going to improve, and I can see the number right there. Finally, in 2016, we no longer have to say, why do we still have this broken ladder system? So everybody should be happy about that. Now, for the part that I am personally most interested in as a Grandmaster myself, they're changing Grandmaster. Now, let me tell you how Grandmaster works right now, just so you kind of get a sense of what they're changing and what it means. And by the way, bonus pick of me with David Kim here, by the way. Let's bring that up. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. I don't know why I decided this was a good time to bring that in. But yeah, amazing guy. But, all right. So, how does Grandmaster work right now? Grandmaster, a week after the start of the season. Like, we're within a week of the start of the season. There's no Grandmaster right now. Players' MMRs are changing. You don't actually see the number, but it changes during that first week of the season. And then after a week at like 12 a.m. Pacific time, North America, on the North American server, the equivalent on the European server, etc., etc., Grandmaster opens, and it fills up to 200 players, the top 200 players in the server. And now here's the kicker. If you are able to get in, and if you play on that first day and you have the MMR at or near the top 200 or even top 300 players, you will probably be a Grandmaster. Now, this means a lot of players that happen to play at the right time, even though they are effectively a lower skill level than players who did not play during that 1, maybe 2 days before Grandmasters already filled up to 190, 95 people, aka having next to no slots left, you're pretty much shit out of luck. Because the only way to get demoted from Grandmaster is to accumulate 180 bonus pool. This means if you just play a couple games a day, you could lose every single game for the rest of the season as long as you kept your bonus pool under 180, which is about a week of not playing to accumulate that much currently in Grandmaster. Then you stay in GM. There's actually a couple Grandmasters. Well, last season there were a couple Grandmasters who literally had 0 points in Grandmaster because they had lost 250 games in a row, but they were still Grandmasters. So the system they are changing is to make it more fluid, make it so people can get demoted from GM, especially people who obviously shouldn't be there, and allow people to continually get promoted into GM and work their way up even during the season. I mean, they're going to detail this in a second, and there's more details on the update past it, but this is a big deal, especially for those of you Diamond Masters maybe looking to work up. It's going to be a lot easier during the season. It's not going to feel like first month of the season, I'm going to really work for it. I'm going to go for Grandmaster, and then it's like, well, I feel like I'm kind of close, but there's like 2 more months left in this season, and no one's going to drop out of GM. I don't even have a chance. I know you feel that way. I felt that way myself for a while, especially before ever getting GM. So we're going to take a look at what he says in the details.
Exactly how far you are from promotion. We broke up each league into 3 tiers so players know where they stand within the league. Your tier will now show on your current league badge. Each player's MMR will display the exact current skill of the player, whereas the league and tier badge information will display the highest rank achieved.
I'm not sure about the details on all this tier badge stuff,
we also wanted to make the Grandmaster League more accurate and meaningful.
It's transparent.
In order to do this, there will be promotions and demotions from GM League on a daily basis. Another benefit to this change is that we will be able to use a more accurate list of GM players for WCS qualification going forward. These are the big system improvements, but we've also made a lot of user interface upgrades as well. First, we've made changes to the promotion celebration. Second, we've updated the league icon animations.
That's important.
Third, we've made the league borders more visually distinct. And finally, we've added additional key information to the score screen that shows changes to your MMR and your progress towards promotion. That's what we have for the ladder revamp, which is coming very soon. Thank you, and we appreciate the ongoing input as we continue to develop StarCraft 2.
Now I just want to go watch that cinematic again. Let's be honest, you guys do too. But thank you, David. Thank you, David, for that update once again. Now, we're going to talk about that for a little bit, and then I have the details as well on specific things here. And we'll also talk a little bit about the community feedback that's unrelated to this, but they kind of detail a lot of the questions people were having, and we can go over that as well. I don't make short videos, apparently. Hopefully you guys are... Give me feedback, whatever. So, let's break it down. Grandmaster will now be fluid, make it easier for it to be used for like WCS qualifiers and stuff like that, because sometimes what happens is like players will literally go to an event, like they'll go to a DreamHack, but they won't play on ladder for a while, so their bonus pool will actually get to the point where they drop out of Grandmaster and they can't get back into Grandmaster, even though they might have just won DreamHack. For example, Polt actually dropped out of Grandmaster last season because he was playing events so much. And Polt, I think, is someone who probably should be in Grandmaster. Just putting that out there. We've got the transparency system across the board. Matchmaking rating, your opponent's matchmaking rating, when exactly you're getting promoted, and of course the most important thing, new promotion celebrations. But you're also going to get promoted a lot more, so look forward to that, guys. And also the tier system, we're going to have to see exactly how that works out, but what the summary, to break it down in 5 words or less, I'm going to say transparency, progress, or continued progress would be important. And accurate Grandmaster. I was trying to do the 5 words or less thing, but that's the summary. And these are all really big things. And I think they're going to motivate people, because it's the little things, right? It's the little things. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. I've been streaming for a long time. I've talked to a lot of people who are decidedly less encouraged to play tens of thousands of games for any number of reasons. I think a big one is it just doesn't feel like you're getting better. Even though you are. You're playing more games, you're probably getting better. it's hard to tell if you're getting better faster than everyone else. It's not getting better yourself, it's getting better faster than everyone who's also trying to improve at the same time. A Gold League player today probably could have qualified for GSL in like 2010 if they had the same level of skills, but that's just how the ladder works. Everybody gets better over time. So, this kind of more fluid promotion system and ladder transparency, I think, is going to motivate a lot of people to play. Of course, you can tell me, speaking for myself, I'll be even more interested in laddering because of kind of the Grandmaster system and how I can kind of see where I'm standing compared to people, as opposed to being like, well, this guy's like rank 180 GM, but what does that really mean? No, you'll know. There will be a point counter for Grandmasters too. And I assume this will also apply to team games as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we'll look at the details on the feedback update here in just a moment. And yeah, this is the details now. So this was released today, the day I'm making this video, and which is a couple days after the ladder revamp video, which is I believe on Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. It doesn't matter. But now we have the update on Zerg. That's not really relevant to the ladder changes. I might make an entirely different video if there are balance changes, but that's irrelevant to the ladder. But yeah, common questions from the ladder revamp announcement. Questions you might have heard me ask during the video. Separate MMR per race. This is something they talked about at BlizzCon. I actually asked at BlizzCon about specifically, and they couldn't give me very many details, but here you go. We mentioned before, this will be the top priority that we'll start working on once the ladder revamp goes live. Now, just a little bit of a tip for you wanting to try another race, but not wanting to tank your matchmaking rating or just in general. A couple things. Unranked and ranked have two separate matchmaking ratings. They are not tied together. Initially, they can be, but if you play like 5, 10, 15 games and you lose a significant percentage more because you're playing Terran and you are a Zerg player who's always played Zerg, your MMR will drop on unranked and you will play players more of your skill level. So all you have to do is play 10, 20 games or something, and you will actually be playing players of your level. So don't get discouraged there. Also, what you can do is if you're a North American, you can go play on the European server. If you're a European, you can go play on the North American server. If you're on any other server, you actually have a fresh account effectively on each server. When you buy a Starcraft account, you essentially get 4 accounts, 1 for each server. I know there's a little bit of extra ping, but I find it not to be too bad, especially between North America and Europe. So that's another way you can do it. But up until we have the separate MMR per race, that's me just placeholder type of idea. Now, here we go. MMR versus division points. I didn't actually realize what division points even were throughout that video. I didn't know there were. I might not have been paying attention. These numbers are different. Division points are points used within the division to calculate rank. They also take activity into account through the bonus pool system. MMR, on the other hand, reflects the current skill of the player. So what this means. No branding. Tasty, unbranded drinking water. But what this means is, in order to rank up in your division, you need more points. But these points will not necessarily be equal to your MMR. In fact, they'll be probably pretty different. So it'll be kind of like it is right now, where you just gain points and you lose points, and that's how you move up in ranks in your division. That won't necessarily be tied to your promotion. Well, actually, I think they said it was tied to the promotion. So it looks like promotions are going to be based on division points, but the amount of division points you gain or lose is based on your matchmaking rating, which is the same as it is now. But now you're going to see it. It's going to be much more obvious of when you'll get promoted, and also that's different too. I think they're kind of solidifying how and when people will get promoted. It was a little bit fluid and kind of hard to predict perfectly before. Well, now all your questions will literally be answered on the screen in front of you. Promotion progress bar, and it's going to be progress within a current tier, so Diamond 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1. It looks like we're going to be working down, which makes sense. So, all right. how Grandmaster demotions and promotions work. Every day at a set time. So instead of every season at a set time, it will be every day. So players on the border of GM will be demoted out of GM and be placed in the new Contender ladder. So there's going to be a new league, the Contender League, for you wannabes out. So that's interesting. So it's like limbo between... So Masters can also be Contenders, but they're still Masters, and they're not Grandmasters. Well, Grandmasters can get demoted from Grandmaster into the Contender League is what it looks like. And I'm not sure if it's going to be a certain number of players will get demoted every time. We'll have to see. Yeah, activity requirement of 10 games every 3 weeks. That's not too bad. So bonus pool no longer affects Grandmaster. It'll probably just show your matchmaking rating, which will be pretty cool to see as well. This is a bit of a clunky system, I think. So there's like 3 hours a day where you have to play in order to get promoted. So that's... So every day there will be a competition for 3 hours in order to get promoted to Grandmaster. Which unfortunately means that players who just literally can't play or are sleeping between like work or school might not be able to play at that time, which is... Maybe it'll be a different time each day. That would be maybe more fair. We'll have to see. But I see that as a potential obvious problem where you played a lot, but you play from Australia, and it's literally the other side of the world. So we'll have to see how that works out. But hopefully they kind of take that into account, that players can't always play at the same time. So we'll have to see. All right, general comments that we discussed before. Accuracy and transparency. Displaying MMR, adding tiers, refreshing GM League. So really, the only changes to the ladder, the only actual changes are the Grandmaster changes. The Grandmaster and Contender League changes. There's no actual other changes to the ladder. I mean, they might be changing some statistics around. But essentially, the system is the same. You gain and lose MMR by playing a certain amount of games. You get promoted at a certain point once you reach a certain threshold. And you still move up in rank in your current leagues. They're adding tiers, they're showing you your MMR, but the system is the same. So the matchmaking is already pretty good in my opinion. It's not bad. If you're playing at like the middle of the night on your server, you're going to get matched with players that are either higher in skill or lower in skill. That's just the nature. If there are less people playing, it's a little bit harder to match you with someone perfectly balanced with you. But now, at least you'll know how much higher rated or how much lower rated or anything like that. So overall, if you had to get a TLDR in 0 words or less, but I think this is going to be great, especially for people just starting out who have so many questions all the time. Questions about why am I not getting promoted? Why am I playing against gold leaguers? When do I get promoted? Why am I not promoted yet? How do I get promoted? That's about a summary of the questions. But I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear your ideas. I'm going to have a video coming up as well in a few days about other types of feedback, but this is the semi-announcement of an announcement, but it's going to be a big deal as well. So keep thinking about that. But hopefully this helps break it down for you, get you my opinion as someone who's played over 30,000 games total now. Not all ladder games, but a lot of StarCraft. I play in Grandmaster. I worked up from silver, and I think this is great. It's years in the making, maybe too many years, but as they say, better late than never. So, hopefully, you enjoyed this video. Hopefully, this gets you excited to get back on the ladder, and hopefully, you're motivated once again to play StarCraft 2. Make sure to give me that feedback, like, subscribe, whatever. Check me out on stream. But good luck, have fun, and happy StarCrafting. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.